With me is Bangladesh's foreign advisor, Tawhid Hussain. Sir, welcome to WION. It's great to have you here in Muscat. And I know you had multiple bilateral meetings. Let me start first with the bilateral meeting with the Indian External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar. If you can talk about what were the areas of conversation. And also, India has said that it wants a mutually beneficial relationship with Bangladesh. What are the steps that the government in Dhaka has been taking when it comes to having a good relationship with the neighbor India?
Thank you. Bangladesh believes that both Bangladesh and India need mutually beneficial, good relations. And the present government of Bangladesh is working to that target. I think I had a good meeting with Dr. Jaishankar. I believe that we both understand each other's language, and we have discussed about the coming steps that we can improve relations on. We are having some bilateral meetings ahead. For example, the border security people of both the countries are going to meet very soon. And we have also proposed that there could be other, mutually agreed meetings that can really help us progress with the bilateral relations. We recognize that the change that took place in July, August, threw up some uncertainties about the relations. Let us accept the reality that what has happened. And we just want both sides to come out of that and follow the each other's requirements and go ahead with improving relations.
So you mentioned about the steps. If perhaps you can elaborate much more on what are the steps which you're talking about.
For example, we have already discussed about the trade picking up already, because there was, just for a short while, there was some stoppage of trade or reduction of trade, but then it has picked up and the private sector is doing fine. We have recognized that. And at the official level, the two foreign secretaries have met, which is a positive thing. And we have also a mechanism for the next step, which is that we have a mechanism for meeting between the foreign ministers. Maybe someday we will just go about that. These are the broad areas that we have discussed, that in which all aspects of our relation can be discussed, and some decisions, some directions can come out from that.
The Indian readout mentioned about the BIMSTEC summit. What's your view, and do you think that on the sidelines of the BIMSTEC summit there can be meeting between the Indian Prime Minister and the advisor, the chief advisor, Mohammad Yunus?
Well, this is going to be one meeting in which I understand that the heads of government of both the countries are going to be present in the same time. In fact, you know that there was initially a possibility of the meeting of the two in New York, but then the time did not correspond. By the time the chief advisor Yunus had gone there, Mr. Modi was already back in India. This is one meeting which has the advantage that all the heads of government will be there together, one. Second thing is that it's not too large a group. It's a relatively small group, so usually, traditionally, each of the heads of government meet each of the others. So there is an opportunity for the two of them to meet.
Sir, India has raised the issue of the situation of minorities in Bangladesh. Bangladeshi government has said that it is not communal in nature, it is more political in nature. It is done by Awami League as well. We have seen the comments by the Bangladeshi government as well. Now, what are the steps taken by your government to instill confidence when it comes to the minorities in Bangladesh?
Okay, it's like this. In the first place, let me propose that we come out of this minority issue. We have been having a lot of time spent on this during the last 5 months, particularly in the Indian media, often exaggerated, often even on pure falsehood. Let's come out of this. The minorities, I mean the Hindus and others, are equal citizens of Bangladesh as with the Muslims. They have equal rights, they have equal protection under the law. So, we will take care of our minorities as India has to take care of their minorities. And I don't think this should become an issue between two countries. We are there, the government is there, taking appropriate steps. The confidence is there among the minority. Otherwise, the number of puja mandaps has been exponential this time, and then all of us have been traveling to different mandaps, and nobody had any complaint about this. So let us get out of this mindset, and better let us deal with other issues of other issues that concern our two countries. The minorities are a concern of Bangladesh, and Bangladesh is taking care of them.
So border has also emerged an important issue between the two countries. We know what has happened. Now, essentially, what is Bangladesh's view? Because there were comments suggesting that the agreement signed under the Hasina government can be relooked by Dhaka. Can you perhaps give a status update? What is the status of the Bangladeshi government?
As far as I am concerned, I have not come across any such proposal that the border agreement and arrangements that we have agreed upon has to be changed. No, I haven't heard anything like that. The issue on the border is actually the BSF shooting and killing of civilians. This doesn't happen anywhere in the world. There are two friendly countries. There has been issue that there are crimes at the border. Yes, there are crimes in every border in the world. That doesn't mean that they shoot people to kill. If anyone has broken the law, can be arrested, taken to court. The court, Indian court, the court will decide what has to happen to them. But this is not done between friendly countries, that you shoot civilians on the border, even if they are committing any crime. Apart from that, the two border authorities are going to sit in a few days' time, and I'm sure that this mechanism has been working. It will work. They will just decide on how to manage the border. We want the border to be managed, and we are ready to help each other in this respect.
You're also engaging with other countries in the region. That is the right of every sovereign government. But talking about your relationship with Pakistan, it has substantially increased. What is the view? What do you plan to basically have have the content in this relationship? Because in the previous government, the relationship was not as substantive as the plan is to when it comes to the current government in Dhaka and, of course, Pakistan.
Well, let's look at it like this. During the last few years, Pakistan was singled out for the visa system. All countries of the world was similar, and Pakistan was different. That every visa, even of a 70-year-old gentleman or lady coming to, there are many divided families coming to see their relatives in Dhaka, had to wait months and then clearances one after the other for the visa. This is not normal. We just look at Pakistan as just as another country. So we think that it should be dealt in the way that we deal with other countries also. So these are the one or two small things that are happening, but the hue and cry being created in the media that about Pakistan, relation with Pakistan, I don't think that has any substance. We are going to just normalize relation with Pakistan at par with other countries. That's all.
So I'm asking this question also because India and Pakistan relationship, you know very well. India has its own concerns regarding cross-border terrorism from Pakistan. Now, when it comes to Bangladesh and Pakistan relationship increasing, do you think that it could negatively impact India's security? Can you assure that India's security will be as it was in the past?
Well, I do not see any possibility that the relation with Pakistan, whatever improvements we make, on issues where some deliberate effort was being made to put it down or create hindrances. We just want to remove those, and I don't see any reason why Indian security should be jeopardized because of that. Because we are not going to do anything that affects the internal security of India. No, not at all.
So now talking about the Trump administration, what's your view about Trump administration? We saw the visit of the Indian Prime Minister as well. We saw the Foreign Secretary talking about India's concern, but not seeking your response on that, seeking your response on how do you envisage your relationship with the Trump administration in Washington?
Well, the Trump administration has just come into power, and then everyone has seen that a lot of changes are taking place in their policies. And we do not know exactly what they are going to do. But as far as we are concerned, we value the relation with the US. US is the largest market of our export products. US is also home to a very vibrant Bangladeshi diaspora community. And they send a substantial amount of remittances to help our economy. So these are areas in which we have very important relation with the US, and we will make all efforts to continue that. If there is any change in US policy, we'll of course try to adjust to that and ensure that the maximum benefits we can derive out of that relation.
Sir, we recently saw the demolition of the residence of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman in Dhaka. This is something that obviously was seen very negatively, especially in India, given the historic relationship between India and Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Not seeking response on that, but seeking a response on the demolition. What's your assessment? Is Bangladesh trying to distance itself from its legacy, the legacy of liberation war?
Surely not. Actually, it was, I would not justify this, but it happened sort of as a reaction to the incendiary statements of Sheikh Hasina, who is now living in India. I would like to see a situation in which, when she is staying in India, she keeps quiet and allows things to settle down, both for Bangladesh and for our relations. About the demolition, it's a purely internal matter. I don't think India has any reason to be concerned about that.
But will you rebuild the residence? Because this is part of your history. This is part of your legacy, the identity of Bangladesh.
I don't think the identity of Bangladesh relates to one building. Again, I'm not justifying the demolition. Again, I insist on that. But as I said, that this is absolutely an internal matter, and then we'll deal with it as per the law.
Sir, we know the India-Bangladesh relationship, and Ramzan is coming. Usually when Ramzan comes, Bangladesh used to request for food commodities. Any requests from Bangladeshi side this time around?
I don't think so there is any special request needed, because our traders are, the export and imports are not a matter of request. It's the question of the business people being interested, and their interest is naturally profit. So from wherever it will be profitable for the business people in Bangladesh, they will import, and Indian exporters will export to Bangladesh if they find it to be profitable for them. Thank you.
And my last question to you, it has been an extensive interview about the status of the Indian projects in Bangladesh. What is the status, how they are going about? There was plan to connect northeast of India through Bangladeshi ports. Is it still continuing, or is it suspended?
Well, I don't know of any suspension of any such projects, but the thing is that this is an ongoing process. This is an ongoing process. There will be projects and there will be decisions which will be taken in course of time, and things will go on. Bangladesh and India are very close neighbors, friendly neighbors. So we will continue, and we will continue to pursue relations as it is found beneficial for both the countries.
One additional question, this concerning to another matter about the elections in Bangladesh. When can we see the elections in Bangladesh?
I am not competent to actually say exactly when the elections will be held, because I do not know it as yet. But the point of the Bangladesh government is that the political change that took place, and the young generation which brought about the change, they have certain aspirations, they have certain view for their future, and then they want to ensure that they want some changes to take place in the political system, in the electoral system, and we are going for some changes like that. And we know that all the reforms cannot be done instantly in one day or 1 month, and we are not going to stay here for years and years to enact those. But as I understand, that the intention is to enact some of the reforms which are possible, and then go for an election. But in the meantime, we also want, it's not the government, it's actually the young generation. They want that there should be some sort of a some sort of a higher agreement among all the politicians that they are going to take care of their aspirations, the changes that they want.
A new political party?
I don't know.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to WION. It was lovely speaking to you, sir. With video journalist Ajit Siddhant Sibal for WION in Muscat, Oman.